Good morning, everyone. It is 9 a.m., 27 degrees on this Monday morning. A half hour left of Daybreak here on WGRZ Plus. And more than 40 million people are under blizzard warnings right now as a massive nor'easter targets the East Coast. Several states have declared a state of emergency and have issued travel bans. And it's certainly having a ripple effect here in Western New York if you have to fly anywhere. Daybreak's Natalie Foss has more.
Well, there are over 50 cancellations here at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport. And if you take a look at the flight board, a lot of them are along the eastern coast. You have New York, all of those are canceled. You also have places like Baltimore, Boston, as well as Philadelphia. Those are all canceled as well. Again, over 50 cancellations. Only a few delays, but those delays could grow as the day goes on and as flights start to get a little bit more tough to get in and out of the airports. Now, this is not just a problem here in Buffalo. This is all along the eastern coast. Like we were saying, there are states of emergency declared in Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut. Over 40 million utility customers from Maryland all the way to Maine are without power, and the storm hasn't even hit its peak yet. New York City's travel ban began last night at 9 p.m., and officials are saying this could land in the top 10 of the worst storms the city has seen in 150 years.
These are blizzard conditions. New York City has not faced a storm of this scale in the last decade. As a result, we expect to see moderate coastal flooding of up to 2.5 feet during high tide, with a chance of it increasing to 3 feet along Staten Island, the Rockaways, and the Battery.
And it's the first day back in school after winter break for a lot of students back here at home. That made yesterday a really busy travel day as well, but with 37 cancellations yesterday on top of those over 50 today, many Western New Yorkers could be having a difficult time getting back. I was looking on social media and people are trying to find other forms of transportation just to get back here to Buffalo. And to put a bow on everything, the men's USA hockey team, the gold-winning team, they've had some issues. Their flight had to get diverted to Miami. The NHL is supposed to start back up on Wednesday, and the Buffalo Sabres' Tage Thompson, being in Miami, he's got to get to New Jersey for their game on Wednesday. So lots of headaches happening for travelers today. On your side at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport, Natalie Foss, Channel 2 News.
Natalie, thank you. Also, some people stuck in Mexico. The U.S. State Department is warning U.S. citizens in certain parts of Mexico to shelter in place. Mexican authorities reportedly killed the leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, and now the cartel is retaliating. And we are hearing from two Western New Yorkers who could see smoke and fire from the rooftop of their Airbnb. Paul Morgan and Mark Nowak say they've been in Puerto Vallarta since January, and they tell us they've been visiting for nearly 20 years and have always felt safe. Now they say it's surreal to be sheltering in place less than a mile from where those fires and road blockades were reported. Officials issued the shelter-in-place order after the Mexican army killed El Mencho, the leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel. Paul and Mark described what they saw.
And then I went up on the rooftop, and there were like 4 or 5 fires that I could see. And then you could start hearing pops and explosions and
gunshots.
And then within the hour, there were 20 fires in our range of vision. Black, thick smoke rising up from all parts of the bay.
We have a friend who's a performer here, who is right in the middle of the romantic zone, and he went out with his camera and just cars everywhere burnt, buses burnt, stores burnt.
And Mark and Paul tell us that they have about 2 days worth of food at their Airbnb, and for now they'll continue to shelter in place, just waiting to see how the situation unfolds before they decide what to do next. And Congressman Nick Langworthy is also issuing a warning to U.S. citizens. He posted on X that anyone in Puerto Vallarta, Cancun, and Tulum should stay indoors, avoid public spaces, and follow guidance from the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate. He also shared the number for his office for anyone who might need help. And the U.S. government also put out a number to help Americans. Back here in Buffalo, we are following a developing story. According to a city spokesperson, the Buffalo police responded to a fatal stabbing outside of the Pine Harbor Apartments. We're told it happened just after 4 yesterday afternoon. When police got there, they say they found one man who was stabbed to death. Police say it's an ongoing homicide investigation. There was just another stabbing at the Pine Harbor Apartments less than a month ago. Well, as we start a new week, we've got a major update on the vandalism at the new Highmark Stadium. According to the contractor, 2 people are now being questioned in connection to all that damage. Gilbane Turner says that their investigation and tip line, conducted in coordination with local law enforcement, led to the identification of at least 2 individuals who might be responsible for the vulgar graffiti, most of which was found in the luxury suites and ruined permanent fixtures at an estimated cost of $150,000. The names of those 2 people have not been released, nor do we know their connection to the project, if any. Work was paused last week, and a $100,000 reward was offered for information leading to an arrest and conviction of those involved. In a joint statement, a spokesperson for Gilbane Turner says that, quote, the actions of a very small number of individuals do not reflect the values or conduct of the approximately 8,000 people who have worked on this project to date, end quote. Work did resume on Friday at the new stadium, and at this point, the Erie County Sheriff's Office says no charges have been filed, but we'll update you when we learn more. Above ground Metro rail service is expected to be back in service today. The NFTA had suspended service between its Allen Station and the DL&W terminal last week so that crews could safely remove the pedestrian bridge that spanned from the old Main Place Mall to the old AM&A's building. Work on that wrapped up on Friday. And this morning, the Buffalo Bisons are mourning the loss of one of their own, former longtime president of Rich Baseball Operations, Jonathan Dandies, has died. He was involved with the Bisons for over 4 decades and was inducted into the Buffalo Baseball Hall of Fame back in 2023. In a statement, Bisons owners Bob and Mindy Rich expressed condolences and said, quote, John's compassion and advocacy on behalf of others in the community was fully embodied. He used his distinct voice to amplify the voices of others. The impressive span of his public persona was only dwarfed by his gentle work behind the scenes, especially as a mentor. We've reported in recent weeks that the city of Buffalo has had a tough go with snow removal this year. Half of the city's 28 plows are out of commission, needing repairs. Mayor Sean Ryan says the age of the plows is certainly a factor, but there's another issue at hand. The city doesn't have enough people to fix them.
We authorize a lot of overtime for mechanics, but that cold snap really put a burden on our machinery. So now we have a lot of wounded snowplows lined up to be fixed. Also, mind you, as part of this austerity, we are down 50% of the mechanic workforce we should have in the city of Buffalo.
And Ryan says they're down so much with their workforce, and it's shrunk because of low wages compared to other municipalities and counties. So some tough issues that the city's dealing with. They said that they'd like 40 plows, that Mayor Ryan Patrick went to Albany a couple weeks ago and said, we want 40 plows. We only have 28 and only 14 of them are actually working. And now he, even more, as we said there, is coming out about not having enough people to fix them. So issues, but fortunately no major snowfall right now.
But then we heard the airport got a brand new fleet. Now, granted, that's different budgets.
That's federal funding.
That's federal funding. But, you know, it's like the city that airport is near needs twice the capacity of, anyway. Luckily, yeah, there is not a major snow coming, but you know, this is going to be a 1 to 2 inch snow in the city. Maybe some spots in the northern parts of Buffalo closer to 3. You know, that's borderline plowable. And then we've got another, 1 to 3 inches coming tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. So, you combine those two and, there's going to be 3 to 4 to 5 inches of new snow between now and midday Wednesday. So just a heads up. Periods of snow today, cold night tonight, more snow Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. Okay, widespread snow is occurring right now. It's actually snowing moderately where you see the darker blues. That's over Buffalo to Niagara Falls, down in towards Angola and Silver Creek. Dunkirk getting into the snow. We're going to see periods of snow like this all day long, but nothing compares to this. Look at this. This is what we call a visible satellite image. This is actually a snapshot. Look at that area of low pressure spinning. Man, that is just a classic nor'easter, given the name because of the northeast wind that it brings, and of course the snow too, and the cold and the blizzard conditions along the East Coast. Temperatures today, we're going to warm it up into the upper 20s, close to 30, and then notice tonight we fall down into around 10. So it's going to be a cold night tonight with snow showers continuing through early tomorrow, and then they should fade pretty quickly. Dry weather, it looks like tomorrow, with temperatures in the mid to upper 20s before the next round of snow comes tomorrow night. Snowfall again today into tonight, into tomorrow morning. 2 to 3 inches from Niagara Falls out towards Pendleton, Lockport, Cambria, Newfane, and then across Buffalo to Lancaster to Cheektowaga, 1 to 2 inches through tomorrow morning. And then for the area south, southern Erie County into the Boston Hills, 4 to 5 inches of snow, but then you head down towards the high country of Chautauqua County, right along the lakeshore there, the Chautauqua Ridge, anywhere between 8 and 10 inches of snow. And the temperatures this week will be colder than last week. 30 today, tomorrow mid-20s, low 30s on Wednesday, 20s on Thursday, Friday 33. Long-range forecast. So I mentioned the snow tomorrow night into Wednesday. Thursday's system highly in question. I did not include snow for Niagara County on Thursday. It looks like this system is trending south. We may remove it from Buffalo and even the southern tier. We'll see. It's still a couple of days away, but we do have another system we're watching for Thursday. Dry weather, a lock for Friday, Saturday. Temperatures in the warmest day will be Saturday, low 40s. That is the last day of February, March 1st, I believe, Sunday, right? Temperatures near 30 degrees with a little bit of light snow.
Patrick, looking at that 7-day, the one thing that's really standing out to me is the amount of sunshine we're seeing.
Okay.
I mean, there are clouds too, but there's a lot of sun there.
Okay. Just for perspective, tomorrow is mostly cloudy with partly sunny in the afternoon. So we have a little sun, maybe for an hour or two. No such luck Wednesday, maybe some late day partial clearing. Thursday has the potential, if this system stays south. Friday and Saturday, Melissa, yes, I think we have a good chance, especially Friday, of some sun. Maybe Saturday too. So that would be awesome to start the weekend on a sunny note.
It certainly would.
It's so hard to get a sunny day this time of the year.
Oh, I know.
It is so hard.
We'll take it.
Everything has to line up.
Right.
I mean, everything. Even having the luck of the Irish, you might need that to get sun in March.
Okay.
Okay.
Patrick, thank you. And all of those things, how hard it is to get sun in March. What is the nor'easter bringing blizzard-like conditions, and what's our forecast like here? Those will all be things that are going to be discussed on our brand new weather show that's streaming right here on WGRZ Plus. It begins today, and we'll talk more about that with Patrick and the newest member of Storm Team 2, Lauren Maroney. She'll be joining us here to talk more about who she is and what is this show. We'll also have Rob Hackford joining us right after the break to talk the final moments and highlights of the Milan Cortina Olympics. Stay with us. Those were cheers in Buffalo, but the same cheers were heard all across the country yesterday as Team USA scored that game-winning goal against Canada in OT of the gold medal game. And Rob Hackford is here to join us this morning and share what it was like. You were actually out there. That was Banshee, right?
Yeah, that was the Banshee in Buffalo. We hopped around to a couple locations.
Was that the place right across the street?
Yeah, right across the street. Yeah, exactly. They're usually busy on a Sunday because of MLS, soccer in Europe, but this was a different occasion, a special one at that. And it was always going to overtime, wasn't it? These are two tough teams. The excitement felt around Buffalo. Southern Tier was another stop I made, Resurgence, the Banshee, as I mentioned. But this could have been any neighborhood bar in Western New York, or any living room for that matter. The early puck drop did not dissuade hockey lovers from grabbing their jersey, getting out early, whether to have a drink or just, some camaraderie to be with other fans and watch this second gold medal game of the Olympics. We can't forget the U.S. women's team accomplished the same feat just a few days ago. That excitement building into this game, and it wasn't an easy victory. If you watched at home, Canada had a couple chances to win this thing. So as much celebration as there was in these 5-10 minute increments that I was hopping from bar to bar, there was just as much head holding, stress, concern. through almost 2 periods. Those feelings made the victory all the more meaningful, though, and a lot of fans connected some underlying storylines.
We hear about our parents talk about Miracle on Ice, and all we could do is watch that awesome movie about it, but we lived it. They got Johnny Hockey's jersey, the late Johnny Hockey, on the ice like that. And it feels like another miracle, round 2 in our lifetime.
Yep, and it definitely was worth it getting up at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
That's true.
Definitely made it worth it.
Yeah, they were first in line at the bench. She actually opened the place along with the owner. Of course, the mention there of Johnny Gaudreau, who passed away earlier this year, was killed by a drunk driver. Tage Thompson certainly felt the love from fans. Plenty of them had jerseys on, either Sabres jerseys or the Team USA jerseys. He performed pretty well during these 6 games, 3 goals, 4 points for Team USA. He's going to be rejoining the Sabres, so we look out of this Olympic break now. The Sabres' other Olympian, Rasmus Dahlin, expected to be back on the ice today for practice, and then Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen also, who missed the Olympics because of a lower body injury. He's going to be getting off injured reserve soon, still working through the process. We're going to hopefully hear from head coach Lindy Ruff later on this morning once they are at practice.
So much to unpack here. First of all, it's great that Dahlin and Tage Thompson are healthy enough to play when the Sabres start playing again on Wednesday in New Jersey, because there's only 25 games left, and so they really matter in order for the Sabres to reach the playoffs and end that drought. So good news there. But the Gaudreau moment.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
If you weren't crying already from excitement or just the emotion of the whole situation, having his kids on the ice.
Yeah, the players went and actually grabbed them from the stands. They're only toddlers, and then there's a third who is just a newborn. And just the story of Gaudreau and his brother being hit by an alleged drunk driver the day before their sister's wedding. And everyone expected Gaudreau to be here on Team USA for this amazing moment. So it was really emotional to see them bring the kids out and have that group picture with his jersey and the 2 little ones out there.
Yeah, Thompson had some good chances too in this game, later on in the third and in overtime as well. And we had that little bit of a scare. He went out for a bit, but precautionarily in the game against Slovakia.
Right.
But, yeah, again, appears to be in good shape. Just a matter of getting back here.
You always knew if he was playing because he's a foot taller than everybody else.
Yeah,
you're like, oh,
he's a big guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but for the entire game, well, most of the game, the Team USA was behind. And so a lot of Canadians and others around the world are kind of upset saying the U.S. didn't deserve it. But that's what hockey and all of these sports are all about. You know, there might be miracles at their end or surprises. And that's what happens in OT, you know? The best shot wins, and in this
and our
case,
best player was the goalie.
Yeah,
he was our best player.
What a
hell of a game.
And so just because our best player is the goalie doesn't mean that we got, their best player could have been Connor McDavid, but if he had won the game, would that have been an excuse?
All he did was,
and the Sidney Crosby didn't play excuse and all of that leading, playing into it as well. But look at Hughes. He lost half of his teeth during the game and then came out and won the game winner.
Oh, he lost the teeth yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
During
He got
I thought it was like earlier
hit with a stick
season.
and lost. Yep.
Oh.
And they actually said that he was like picking up his teeth off the ice, and he's the one who ended up scoring the game-winning goal. So he lost half of his teeth but gained a gold medal. And yeah, at the end, as everyone was hugging him and he was in the middle of everything, I said to Ellie, I'm like, do you know how much pain he's probably in right now?
The adrenaline, I'm sure, is helping. But he'll be calling a dental surgeon probably today.
Did you see, I forget the player, but there was a lot of video going around that after the game, you can see him, without audio, he's speaking to the crowd. But you can see what he's saying, but you don't know what he's saying. Oh, it's hysterical. He's saying something about what the plan is for that night.
Oh, I think that was a different player. But yes.
No, I don't know who the player was.
Oh, yes, yeah. But yeah.
Who?
I don't remember that.
No, he just told me that.
He was just saying the reps. So.
Oh, reps.
Yeah, you're good.
I hear that.
We're running out of time.
But all in all, with that victory, the Team USA won 12 gold medals, which is the most medals that they've ever won in a Winter Olympics. They ended up in second place in the overall medal count with 33 gold medals, Norway with 41, but a really nice showing and some really important gold medals also. So when our stars come back, we're going to have a gold medal with Haley Skimura from Gettsville and Tage Thompson. I'm sure the Sabres will do something for both of them to recognize them when they are back here playing again. So congratulations to Team USA and those representing Western New York.
And building a dynasty. Canada's got one, Team USA.
Yeah.
Yeah, starting
All right,
off. Here
Rob,
we go.
thank you. Stick with us. Coming up, we will have Lauren Maroney sitting in the seat. We'll learn about her in the new weather show right here on WGRZ Plus. Welcome back, everybody. We are joined by the newest member of Storm Team 2, Lauren Maroney. Welcome.
Hi.
If you've tuned in on the weekends, the past couple of weekends, you've probably seen Lauren, and now you will still see her on the weekends, but also as part of a brand new weather show.
Big launch today. Well, we'll call it a soft launch, but it starts today, 12:30 to 1 o'clock, where we take a deep dive. What's it called again?
Beyond
the forecast. And we'll just geek out about weather, and that's the subject.
Do you consider yourself a weather geek?
I do, yeah. I mean,
Proud
weather geek. Yeah, I mean, whenever we, do the forecast, we have maybe 3 minutes to really talk about it. So it's nice to do it in a more extended format. We can get into the nitty gritty, the science of it, and really just have fun with it, which we don't get to do typically.
What's your background, Lauren? You're from South Jersey, but Central Jersey, sorry.
Big difference.
Big difference between North, South, and Central, which is getting pummeled with snow right now. But have you always been a weather lover? Like, what's your background and what made you want to get into meteorology?
Well, so I was always really big into science in general. That was always my favorite subject in school. But when I got out of college, I actually just started in news in general. I worked on the assignment desk for a couple years, but I always kind of gravitated toward the weather side of things. So I, talked with the meteorologists that we had at our station. I went back to school, got a second degree in meteorology, and then I was able to work as a weather producer for a couple years before eventually coming here to be on air.
Yeah, and you have done some really cool things for us already, especially on social media. I love your videos. Take a look at this one.
Dig out and dust off that umbrella. You're gonna need it tomorrow. It's been over a month since we've had actual rain in western New York, but temperatures are finally warm enough to support it. Mostly. But not completely. Precipitation isn't quite as simple as below freezing snow, above freezing rain. Temperature at the surface is important, but you really need to look a little higher up. All freezing? Yeah, that's snow. Plenty of warm air? You've got rain. But a little warm air with cold below it? That's sleet. And if you have a good amount of warm air just above a freezing surface, that's freezing rain. And that is what some of us could see tomorrow, especially those in Niagara, Orleans, and Genesee counties. So get the umbrella ready. And maybe the ice scraper too.
Lauren does so many videos like this. I love them. I learn so much from them, but I also want to show my 11-year-old son, Elliot, because you do it in such a way that, adults and kids can understand what goes into the weather and how to forecast. And that's kind of what is going to be happening in this show too, Patrick. Then Lauren will be taking that expertise and you will be able to go beyond the forecast, as you're going to say.
Lauren's going to bring the expertise. We don't really know what you're going to bring, but no, she's going to add, and of course, Jen's to known us with Lauren Mondays and Tuesdays. We have to have an off day, which is Wednesday we go dark.
Okay.
Kind of like Broadway does go dark sometimes to prepare for the final Thursday and Friday. So Kevin and I will host the show Thursday, Friday, Lauren and Jen, Monday, Tuesday. And yeah, there's a lot of cool things that we can explain that we don't have time for during the show. Like why, other than like a question right now, this time of the year, it's very hard to get lake effect snow. Not just because the ice is covering the lake, but what other elements? Getting lake effect snow is like getting lake effect snow in October. The sun angle is high. We can explain those kinds of things.
And the thing that you just said about it's hard to get sunshine. Everything has to be perfect. You'll be able to explain.
Well, do you remember during the eclipse? It was in early April, and we're like,
there's no way.
It's probably the cloudiest time of the year.
Yeah.
Go figure. And things like that we can explain.
And what about the Buffalo climate attracted you here? I mean, Patrick said that he wanted to come here just because there's so much weather here in Buffalo. What about you, Lauren? What have you experienced so far with moving into Western New York in the dead of winter?
Yeah.
What do you think about the climate that you are coming to?
Yeah, it is a very interesting weather market. That is what was so exciting to me about Buffalo. I was in New York City for a while, but while I was working there, we really didn't get any big snows. Like the biggest snow we got in the city was maybe like 8 inches while I was there. We didn't get a good big storm. Of course, I leave, and now they get this huge nor'easter. But yeah, I do really like snow and kind of forecasting snow. Lake effect in itself is so unique and fascinating. It's such a microclimate that Buffalo gets to deal with that you really don't see over most of the country. So that's fascinating, and I was just really excited to explore a climate that was different from the one that I grew up in.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, we are so happy to have you on the team. Good luck to you, especially working with this guy here. You never know what you're going to get. No, I'm sure he's a good chief in the department. So, Patrick, again, let's tease this weather show. It's called Beyond the Forecast.
Yeah, it's at 12:30. This week's a little different. It's today. We're off tomorrow, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just because of scheduling. But every other week, we're on Mondays and Tuesdays, off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 12:30 to 1 o'clock, live. And then you can, of course, watch it later on our streaming app, of course.
Right.
But we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's all here right on WGRZ Plus, and make sure you follow Lauren Maroney on social media and our social media accounts so you can see all of her great weather videos also. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.